A lot of them actually come from an MMA background. I mean, we all seen that MMA and boxing are two completely different things. Yes, it's combat sports, but it's two different styles, two different things. So for the most part, I see a lot of guys that are coming in like head first. And like I said, if you watch guys like I'll give you a few names. I usually watch like Bryce Henry. He's a tall, you know what I'm saying, tall, slick-handed fighter, but he's a boxer. You know, like I said, you got Austin Trout. Um, there's one kid, Rivera, that I was looking at. He's a boxer. I think he fights at like 145. And so, but like I usually watch like tape studies for more of the boxers, but then I will like look at the other styles of how they fight. Most of them, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Most of them just don't last long because motherfuckers coming in head first and just doing whatever and just winging it.
Okay. Okay. How's the pay for that? Like, do obviously nobody's really came about talking about like
Oh no,
is
no,
bare knuckle paying?
I got a just right now it's a 6-figure deal.
Wow.
yeah, yeah, and it's like I think about it, bro. It's like 5 rounds, 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's not 12. It's not 12 rounds, 3 minutes. You know what I mean? This is again, it's five. And I'm not saying that it's a cakewalk because you might come across somebody that actually can fuck a fight, but it's not hard on the body. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So like, yeah, I mean for me, like I said, like me they pay good. Like I think like Mike Perry. I think Mike Perry alone. I think he got like a 600, you know what I'm saying, 600K purse for whatever, for I think just for his debut, something like that. So like they got the money, then of course they got Conor McGregor, he's, you know what I'm saying, he has part ownership of it. So you see now they also work with the zone. So they do bring in money. They are bringing in money, but again, it's all about who you are and what you bring to the table for the most part.
Now, do you train with that type of transition? Do you train now with no gloves? Do you go train with just straight
Nah, fuck
knuckles
that. I'm
now?
still. You seen the video. I'm still cause you gotta protect them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta protect them. So of course, I mean, like I said, I did. I can't. I just got here yesterday. I got off the plane. You know me, bro. I got off the plane. Went straight to the gym. Shout out to Henry Ramirez again. Today I went in. He was like, we'll spar next week. I was like, nah. I need to see where I'm at because that's how I am as a fighter. I need to see, where my body's at, and I know, you know, what I'm saying, if I'm where get an idea of moving forward, how I feel. When the spar today, I felt good, bro. Like everything was still there. Anything, I just probably, of course, I gotta just get in shape for the more conditioning, of course. But like I said, I'll start my strength and conditioning training tomorrow. But again, it's still August, so like I still got a full camp, but I felt good. I felt good. I mean, like I said, the team was happy with what they seen today. There was no complaints. The sparring partner said, power's still there. And like I said, this is again with, gloves on and everything like that. So we'll see, bro. We'll see.
Are
I
you
think for the most part, that you worry about people like the main, obviously it's your hands. Of course, keep checking your hands in the fights, but like trying to avoid getting cut up. You know what I mean? Cut up with knuckles and shit like that. That's the main thing. But like for me, I look at it, if I just lateral movement, box, still be smart, and not try to make it into like a brawl, I'll be fine, bro.
nice, nice? And then, like you said, you still have goals in boxing that you still want to accomplish as well.
I mean, yeah, if it makes sense, you know what I'm saying. But it's nothing like I'm eager. I'm not saying not eager, but like I said, if it makes sense, you know what I'm saying. I wouldn't, I'll take a look at it. You know me, bro. I don't turn down nothing if it makes sense. I mean, go on fucking Twitter, X, whatever. People to my son, they seen the video. They want to do they talking about some doing a rematch with Lamont. So people start talking again. You know what I mean. So, but if it makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't mind, getting back into like just, regular boxing. But again, only time will see.
Speaking of Lamont, I mean, that situation. I mean, him waiting for the rematch. Obviously, there was some type of rematch clause as well. But in the same time, we've here notices that TMZ released that charges were dropped for Gervonta
Right,
Tank Davis. So
right.
now is business on. Do we get this fight this year, or do you feel like it's a possible next year, or do you feel like the ship has sailed?
Now, I don't think. I think if I mean, I had to look at it. I know Lamont's got a lot of saying flack, whatever, for constantly talking about it. But at the same time, I think it's kind of a good thing when I really look at it because if he doesn't keep pushing for it, I feel like it definitely gets swept under the rug, and then they Tank's team or whatever, they move on. But if he keeps that reminder out there and keeps that buzz in the air or whatever, I think and now with Tank having the situation cleared up, thank God for that. Hope everything works out well for Tank. You know what I'm saying? I think bro, boxing schedules like they start their schedule now, really in June. The second half, you see it, bro. The second half of the year, what do you always see that rollout for fights that's going on? Like you seen the PBC do it. We got this fight, this fight, this fight, this fight coming up later on in the year. So I think like since we're over that halfway of the year mark, we'll be lucky to probably see it maybe early next year. Because again, I don't think they're going to. I don't think Tank at least is going to want to train for the holidays and things of that nature. So what I mean, with everything coming up, and he's like I said, I think he still got to get his head right because we don't know. Like I said, we don't know what he's been dealing with. We don't know how much stresses are putting on him. We don't know his personal issues at all. So I think he definitely needs to to get his head together and get that hunger back. But if on Lamont's side, the people keep pushing it, pushing it, pushing it, I think Tank is going to get. If he's not already tired of hearing about it, he's going to want to come back.
Right, right. It seems like the coaches are very motivated. Calvin and Kenny.
Yeah,
Um,
shout out to Coach Kenny. I seen him say I seen him put out statements a few days ago, whatever, and about taking care of the team and so forth. So again, yeah, man, I just think like Tank needs to go back to the basics. And like I said, it's nothing against Barry Hunter. Barry Hunter's my guy. Shout out to Barry Hunter and DC, Book and all of them. But you gotta go back. Like I said, you can have a great trainer in your corner, but doesn't mean you're gonna have always the best chemistry. Not saying they don't have great chemistry, but we all see because look, the fans even point out he gotta go with the Calvin, go with the Calvin. So hopefully, whatever's going on, I don't know exactly because I don't get into all that, but whatever's going on, hopefully they mend it and we get that Tank that everyone loves to see. And again, I know Lamont is definitely motivated, and he feels like he didn't he got slighted in the matchup. So I know he's probably still trying to prove wants to prove to people that it wasn't a fluke. That he is the real deal in there. So I think it's still a good matchup. Like I actually just watched it last night. When they put the PBC finally put it out there, whatever on YouTube. I actually watched it. It was a good fight. It was a real good fight, man. It was a close fight. It was a close fight. So I wasn't scoring it, of course. Like I ain't scored the first time around, but I tried. Like I said, I told people before, man. I've been there with Lamont. I sparred with Lamont. So I know Lamont since he was 16. I know Tank since he was 16 as well. Lamont Roach is not a bad fighter, man. And he proved his work. He proved that he can hang in there with the best of them. So I think it's still a good matchup style. When you match up the styles.
Stylistically, they were talking about their fight in the rematch, but then in the same time, you've had Shakur Stevenson saying, he would want the winner of those two. If they don't fight, obviously talking to Lamont Senior, they're adamant of wanting that fight as well.
Make it
So
happen.
yeah,
Make it happen. I mean, listen. I respect that Lamont wants. I mean, shit, yeah, he wants to fight Gary Antoine Russell at 140. You know what I mean? So again, I respect. Like people. That's the thing about it, man. Like it's like sometimes fans can be funny, bro. Like it's like you do if you do, damn if you do, damn if you don't. Like for instance, like Lamont wants to keep testing himself against the best out there. But people keep trying to knock him down, saying he's this, that, and the third, whatever. But you got your favorite fighter over here who won't even call out none of these names that we want. But Lamont calls out these names, he's wrong for that, or he's a bum, he's this and that. Like which way do we want it? We want these guys actually trying to fight people and fighters that are usually avoided, or do we want to, we want to keep giving our favorite fighter, we want to keep acting like we don't see that he's not trying to go after this guy or that guy. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely, absolutely. What do you think about Gary Russell Jr. coming back, into the game for such a long time?
Same position, pretty much the same position I am, yo. Like, I mean, even though, like I said, I didn't fight since last year in terms of boxing wise, but like in Gary, was it 3 years? He said it's crazy, man. Like, he was doing his thing as a trainer. So I thought he was just, stepping in. God rest his soul for their fathers, duties when his father passed away. So I can understand, he probably will take some time away and, and focus on his brothers, which is great. But, he came back. He had a little rusty, of course, but he shook the rust off, got the knockout, whatever, stoppage. Um, him immediately wants to go back for wants to call out the guys out there that's doing their thing. Now, I don't know what's going on in the DMV, but it seems like they always got beef out there. Just like, none of them can get along whatsoever. But, like, again, if Gary Russell feels like he can compete at the highest level still, let that man do what he does. It's not us for us. That we can only judge it when we see it. But if he feels like his body can hold up and still go out there and compete at 135 or 130, whatever you want to fight Lamont at, let him do it.
What do you think about the call out, and do you want to see Gary Russell Jr. and Lamont? I mean, Lamont was saying his answer was, you haven't been really fighting, and I would rather fight, the champion, your younger brother Antoine, instead at 140 pounds.
Now, I can understand that from like a business standpoint, because what if you go out there, right? A guy been on for 3 years, only had one fight, whatever, comes back, and then it makes you look bad. Even if you do win it, you look like you struggle with it. It's like a lose-lose situation. You know what I mean? Then if you lose, you know what I'm saying? Again, it's all bad. And I honestly think it's a chess move. All right, I don't want to fight you. How about I go fight the younger brother that's actually bigger in a bigger weight class? So you see what I'm saying? It's kind of like a chess move and a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? A mind game. But to answer your other question, if I mind seeing it, like I would probably want to see a Gary compete with somebody at at that level in the next matchup, and then maybe going for that. You know what I mean? But that's just the business side, and being an athlete. How I would look at it. But again, shout out to Gary Russell for even coming back in it, knocking the rust off and saying, I want this guy, I want that guy, whoever. That's at the top of the game right now.
Do you think the smart route is, if he doesn't get the Tank fight, go for the Shakur fight?
Yeah. I mean, in terms of weight wise, yeah. Like I thought it was kind of crazy, but I'm not knocking it. If Lamont feels like he could compete at 140, that's cool. But like I say, Gary Antoine Russell, isn't no walk in the park. And I get it. You want to test yourself and challenge, but like it's weight classes for a reason. So if you still want to become a world champion, another world title shot, look at go for the Shakur fight. I mean, it's another difficult fight, of course, but at least it's in the same ballpark in terms of weight.
Tell me, you face both of them. When you look at that matchup, though, talk to me. What do you see?
Styles make fights. I probably would say Lamont will probably fare better than me, if I'm being honest. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I just fought the wrong fight, trying to box with Shakur. But I think Lamont and Shakur, they're both patient. So I think I'm saying it's a better stylistic fight in terms of styles make fights. Of course, you have to favor my guy Shakur in that fight. But I think it'd be a good entertaining fight. I think on Shakur's end, because you got to be honest, let's be real, bro. On Shakur's end, he got this little beef whatever with Tank. So, of course, he wants to match up with a common opponent to see how he looks and fares against Lamont. So I think that's the reason why Shakur came out, maybe a month ago or so, like after his fight and was Cepeda, and said that, he wouldn't mind fighting Lamont. And remember, this is the champion. This is the champion now. This is the champion calling out the contender. Usually, Shakur don't go for that. Shakur don't go for that. Shakur don't really go for the, you never seen Shakur really reaching out, for the contender. He should be trying to fight other champions or his mandatories and guys is up there like that. But like for him to go out there on Twitter and be like, yo, I think one day me and Lamont will make a good fight. That goes right there. I think is a play to just basically see how well he does against Lamont compared to how Tank looked against Lamont. If I'm being real with y'all.
Who would you favor in that fight?
You gotta go the champion, bro. The guy that beat me. Like, yo, and I'm just being real. But again, I think Lamont, like I said, I think Lamont probably does a better job than I did against Shakur. But right now, I think Shakur's at the top of his game. You feel me? Like I mean, he looked a lot. I knew he was gonna win against Cepeda, but the way he did it, he looked a lot like all that whole running and putting fighters like that. Fight was very entertaining from start to finish. You know, shout out to Williams Cepeda also, because it takes two to tango. You need a dance partner. So shout out to Williams Cepeda and Golden Boy for making that fight happen and whatever. But again, I think Shakur answered a lot of questions. I think Shakur is actually a lot stronger at lightweight, and it's going to be hard to beat him if he's fighting like that. If he has that same motivation that he had going into the Cepeda camp in the Cepeda fight, it's going to be hard to beat him at, at lightweight.